Thomas has discovered the magic of something that has passed down from man to man to man for generations, which is the magic of the massage table. Careening closer and closer to the disaster that is this train wreck of a season, Ikechi has shown over and over that he is no man and he has no man card. It is non-existent. Allen has shown himself to be one of the only decent guys on the show thus far. Juan and Carla have brother-sister energy. David is still trying to make it work with Michelle making excuse after excuse. And Thomas has unlocked the key to magic in his relationship. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I really appreciate it. First, we're going to get started with David as he just struggles along to try to make it work, but Michelle just isn't having it and tries to make every excuse in the book.
So, how's it going for you guys? Are you guys living with each other?
We are. Living with each other.
We took a couple steps forward and then a couple back. And
the problem with that statement is we is not in the equation here. You take a couple steps back. I get it. It was a little much with the basement because he couldn't have even bothered to clean it up. Listen, David, you could have cleaned up the basement a little bit. All right, you could have. But still, I'm not willing to just completely write him off like she is because she's just looking for an excuse. The fact is that she doesn't want to be with him and it's just pretty shallow. She's not even willing to give it a try. And she's written it off, and now every time when she tells it all over, she's a good guy, he's a good guy, he's a great guy. Just not for me, and I just can't get attracted to him. But Dr. Pia brings receipts, and that's fun.
Surprise.
right.
Ah.
I'll be back. I gotta go get the weed whacker.
You notice something? That laugh, I can't do the laugh, but you notice something? The only time she appears to at least being enjoying anything is at his expense. Now, he's not thin-skinned, so he's just taking it in stride. Good for him. But it's just funny as an observation that the only time she's really laughing is at his expense or with other people. It has nothing to do with him, which kind of is pretty telling. And I'm not against her not laughing because, my God. But, you know, at least she could be happy around him. But no, we haven't seen that.
I came into this very open-minded. And
Did
I think
you?
when I found out some things that were kind of things that I didn't think were attractive.
Was it the man bun?
The thing is like what she found not attractive was she couldn't get past the living in his parents' basement thing, even though he's made it clear that he could move out. Now, do we know? No, of course. We don't know. This show could be over and it could be like, I'm just going to live with my parents forever. Sure. But we don't have any reason to believe that right now. So I get it. That was a little jarring maybe at first, but to hold on to it like she is, kind of ridiculous. And then there was the whole smoking thing where it was like, yes, he was a little dishonest about it, but according to him, and she hasn't said he's lied, he has quit smoking and hasn't smoked since. So there's really minor things that she's trying to nitpick and find a reason to not be with him.
What is causing the shutdown?
I think it's because it doesn't feel natural to me.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you knew that was going to probably be a
Good
feeling,
point.
though, right?
But I was hopeful that it wasn't.
Oh, but you were hopeful because your hopes and your dreams carry you through. No, you might have been hopeful, and that's fine, but you have to put in the effort. If you're not going to put in the effort to a relationship, especially with a show like this, and you know damn well what it is, you make it clear how accomplished you are, how intelligent you are. So you should be intelligent enough and have enough brain cells to rub together to realize that this isn't going to be magic. It takes work, and instead you wanted magic, and that's the problem.
What is most important to you?
Like happiness,
Oh.
like love, like family oriented. David has like all of those.
So she can admit that everything she says doesn't make sense. Now, you can't make someone like someone, but it would be so much more just genuine to come out and be like, look, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not attracted to you. For whatever reason that is, people can get mad and look and be like, what are you talking about? It's a great fit or whatever people think. And they can get mad about it or they can be happy about it. It doesn't matter. But it would be so much more genuine to say that than just, well, it checks all the boxes. He's a great guy. He's all these things. But yet kind of act like he's terrible because you get mad at the drop of a hat for stupid stuff. Now, I will say one thing that she did say was that she said it bothered her that he cusses a lot. Okay, cussing a lot, fine. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe it's a nitpick thing. Some people don't like profanity. That's fine. But when she brought up that he was cussing in front of her family, well, I get that part. He couldn't censor his profanity to be in front of the family and talk normal and not have to cuss or anything. That part, that was a problem on his part. He messed that up. And you know what? If you want to, you know, cuss and everything, look, I'm not, you know, I don't cuss like a sailor, but I'm no innocent, you know, I cuss, but I know when to censor myself. I know when to not say things. And so in this case, he could have done that. So that was wrong on his part. So mark 1 for David for messing up, but her check boxes are, so it's way over there, off seat, hand off screen.
He says this, he's like, I'm just a simple guy. And like, I come from like a humble, like more blue collar family, and I couldn't afford to do the things all of my friends are doing. And I just feel like, I don't know, like I don't envision myself like living that life.
So you think you're better than other people. Like she keeps saying that I came from a blue collar family. I came, you know, working class, maybe didn't have a ton of money, and that's fine. You know, nothing wrong with that. But the fact that you keep bringing up the fact that basically you don't want to go back there, that this is what you basically see him as being. And it really comes off as her trying to portray that she is better than him. It is not becoming of you. If you want to portray yourself as a successful person, this person who is doing great things, you know what is a great quality with people of success? Humility. Because people are not going to want to be around you if you don't have humility, if you aren't humble, if you can't admit mistakes and can't come to terms with the fact that you might be wrong sometimes. But she's not showing that.
Your feelings are real. They're valid. I'm not trying to tell you that you're not feeling that.
No.
Your feelings are based in lies.
For one, I can't stand the saying your feelings are valid, because it's everything when wants to be said, especially with therapists, is no, your feelings are valid. Well, if your feelings are based on a lie, they are not valid. So she says, in one breath, your feelings are valid. Basically, all the craziness you're feeling, well, that just makes sense. But it's all based on lies, because none of it's true of what you're saying, of how the feelings that are coming from, like, you know, oh, he's just a simple guy, he's blue collar, he doesn't want to do anything, he doesn't want to do this, is not true. But it's okay, your feelings are valid. Why don't you tell her the feelings you're feeling are not accurate, and sorry if you're feeling them, but we might need to work on some reasons why you're getting to these feelings, and then we can go from there. Maybe that's a way to do therapy, instead of just saying, hey, I just want to let you know your feelings are valid, as crazy as they are. Then Dr. Pia thinks it's a good idea to show back the videos. And it's always a good idea, but it kind of always raises more questions. And most of the time when they do this, these few times they show back the videos of when they say what they want and things of that nature, it kind of just reinforces what I've always said, and that they should have some sort of body language expert in there. Now, I say expert loosely, obviously, because it's not a complete science, but have someone in there that can kind of point out some things and be like, yeah, maybe they're being a little distrustful here. Let's dig into that a little bit more. Not saying just to disqualify them off the bat, but kind of see if maybe they're not being completely honest with some answers, to kind of really get to what kind of person they're looking for, so they're not completely disappointed right off the bat.
Okay, I need an individual that is funny, caring.
Okay, you messed up there. She's not funny, she's not caring, that's for sure.
Very independent and strong.
Okay, independent. I would argue not strong, though.
Beautiful, smart, educated. I just need someone that's going to be honest with me. Let me know what I'm doing wrong.
Oh, she's telling you what she feels like you're doing wrong. Does it mean you're really doing it wrong? That's the question.
Then I can work on it. That's the type of individual I am.
And he has been working on it, by the way. So, you know, hey, everything he said there was accurate.
Guys with a little bit of edge to them. Like maybe that's like a...
Okay, yeah, he doesn't have a ton of edge. But I mean, if you've always had the bad boys and it's never worked out, then what are you doing here?
Weird and like a sleeve, but like also passionate about family.
What about personality? What are the characteristics?
Someone who like lights up a room. Like they're funny.
Does.
They're easy to talk with. They can carry a conversation. I like when people ask questions and you ask questions. Like keep the convo going.
Trying. He's tried.
And I think someone who like they walk in and you notice them. Like they just like.
Everything she said just about was what she described as him. The difference is that dollar number that she's looking for is not there. Now, I don't know what would happen if he met the dollar number. If whatever is in your head of how much he should make money-wise, what then? She doesn't really have an answer because the reality is that is just a red herring. That is just a scapegoat. It really, maybe she does want a guy that makes a bunch of money too, but the reality of this situation is that is just a scapegoat, and really what she's looking for is an out because she's just not attracted to him. And that's what it boils. It's simple. It's not complex. It's not this intelligent argument that she's trying to make it seem like because she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. No, it is simply that you're not attracted. Instead of just saying, I'm not attracted to you, I want a divorce now, you're trying to write out the show for whatever reason. Not sure. So they got some work to do.
And you again is that you're not giving yourself the opportunity to have a connection.
Sure.
And you've asked a few times, why were you matched?
Yeah.
These are the things that you've asked for.
So, Dr. Pia brought receipts. Good for her. She's showing some good aspects of what an expert should do, even though I've had plenty of criticisms of most of them in the past. So, good for you, Dr. Pia. You get some points for that. But the reality is she's saying you're not letting yourself have a connection. No, but she doesn't want a connection. She doesn't want a connection with David. Who knows what she wants, but it's not with him. It's surface level. It's not deep. It doesn't go really deep under the skin. It is just she doesn't want it. She has said it, but yet she doesn't want to look super bad, even though she's continued to look bad. So she needs to just let it go, just move on. I have a feeling this is going to be made up for her because, this whole, they're cheating or whatever is going to happen. They're going to swap couples. And at that point, if it is end up being David, which I don't know for sure. I don't know. I can't say spoilers because I don't know for sure. But whatever it is, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But where we're at right now, she's not putting in the effort. So how are you going to make a marriage last if you're not putting in the effort?
That smells good.
What we got going on here?
Calling.
All right. Getting close and whatnot. Hey, whoa, hey.
Thank you.
All
so
right,
sweet.
Thomas.
Yeah, you're sweet.
Hey, man. Thomas has discovered the magic of something that has passed down from man to man to man for generations, which is the magic of the massage table. Most men never figure it out, but it is the way, my friends. Let me tell you, if you want to bring that level to your relationship, then grab yourself a massage table, because magical. That's all I can say. But good for him for bringing that to a whole nother level and stepping it up a notch, because now they're getting closer and hey, happy things happen. And, what can you say? They adjourn to the bedroom and later they admit that they have consummated the marriage. So, one might say, hey, we're getting a little closer. And one might argue, he stepped up his game, and maybe she hasn't recognized it yet, but he sure as hell did.
I guess I got to hear him before.
After.
And some crazy stuff.
Uh-oh.
Gets a little crazy over here.
What? Say what?
You said it, not me.
Say what?
What
What are we talking about here?
No, I think that, I definitely like to have fun.
Okay.
Whips and chains.
Say what?
Literally.
What, for
like
you
a
or
full
It's like, what? For you? For you? Okay. A side effect of the massage table also might be that you might unlock a side that you're like, I'm not really sure about that. She's talking about whips and chains. My God. He's like, oh, for you or for me? Am I going to get beat? Because I think I need to know that before we go in. Because, that might be a little crazy. Thomas's face says it all. But, hey, whatever. They're getting closer. Have fun. The marriage or the marriage bed will not be defiled and all that good stuff. So, whatever, do you. But, at least they're getting closer. So there is that.
I also have my ears pierced, so if you ever want to let me borrow your earrings.
That's him trying to get close but being awkward about it. Let me just say that.
For sure. So you're open to earrings?
I am.
I'll remember that. So I want to see
So
what it looks like.
naturally-
I think it would be a good look for him.
So naturally, she takes him to a jewelry store trying to get... This is one of the problems that they're going to find. Even though they've gotten closer, they found a little bit more intimacy, she still wants him to be that bad boy. Now, I don't know how long it's been since he's worn earrings. He didn't have them on when he's on the show. He probably hasn't worn them in a while. Look, I had my ears pierced when I was younger, and I haven't worn them in years and years and years. They never close up, so sure, I could throw earrings in there. But, I don't know. You get older, and you're just like, some people, it's just not for them anymore. If you still wear, hey, great, good for you. I don't besmirch you at all. But for me, it ain't for me no more. But you know what? He's like, oh, maybe let me wear some of your earrings. Kind of set it off the cuff, a little funny. And then she's like, sure, I'll take you to get some because I want you to look like a little bit of a better boy. So I think she's really trying to mold him into what the typical type of guy is that she has had in the past. But if she doesn't come to the compromise that he's coming to, which is that he's trying to understand her better than she's really trying to understand him, then it's still not going to work. So they still have to have a compromise together. Now, Emem and Ikechi happen to be the surprise but not surprise of the season, considering that they are having the biggest crash and burn I think we've ever seen. Well, maybe not ever seen, that's a big statement, but a big one as far as couples in the past go right now. And of course, they were the ones that everyone's like, oh, they're going to be fine. They're going to make it work. Look at them. They're so close. Which, by the way, I called in the beginning, which was that, yeah, it usually doesn't work out for those. Every now and again, but for the most part, if they're really close in the beginning, it's just the honeymoon pink cloud phase and it just kind of fades out. And it did spectacularly because Ikechi is fake. He's just fake. He's fake and he's just on it right now. He's completely flipped the script and he's just not that persona that he was trying to portray.
But we don't know each other. And I'm like, yeah, that's part of the getting to know.
Yes.
Me asking you, what do you want out of marriage? That's a fair question.
Yes.
We can't just keep talking about surface level things.
Yes.
Me asking about our future is not aggressive.
No, it's absolutely not. She is 100% correct. There is no room for her being wrong there, 100%. It is not aggressive to say, I'm asking about the future. I want to know about these things. We can't just hang out. And he just acts like he just wants to hang out. Because you know why? Because he's not here for any of the right reasons. Now, I would argue that a lot of people that come on shows like this probably may have some ulterior motives, but he really has shown it from the relatives making the statement about the social media falling to trying to showcase all of his many hobbies that mean, not a whole lot, the kind of crappy poet to, I'm going to make some music to, hey, I'm doing some spin art. Hey, nothing wrong with having hobbies, but it seems like you're showcasing a lot of the things you do and you always bring it back to yourself. There is no reason for me to believe that you're actually here for a relationship.
By 9 p.m. And there's times where I've tried to have conversations and he'll say, it's too late.
What?
It's too late for,
It's too late for what? Why is it too late for you? It's too late for all your hobbies? I mean, you're just so tired from the day from all your hobbies? I mean, because that's mostly of what you've showcased. You mentioned you work in a school, but for the most part, you're talking about your hobbies. So why, you in bed by now, and that's fine having a bedtime, but you have to make time. You have to make time for your relationship. You have to make time for your wife. You are just doing that because you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk about anything substantial, because you don't really want to be here. This is, you're kind of in the same position that Michelle is, only maybe Michelle really did want to find a relationship, but she's shut down from David. You had ulterior motives, and now you're shut down your relationship. And it's just getting worse.
I was just talking to him.
They were at dinner.
Everything was all good.
And then?
But, I did ask him a question, like, what did he do to...
Oh, God forbid you asked him a question, because that is the thing that sets him off every time.
Prepare for marriage. He raises his voice in the middle of the restaurant to the point where people around were looking, and I had to say, you know what, you're getting loud. We need to go.
That's bad. When you're feeling like you have to go, when he's raising his voice because you asked him a damn question. And you know what? Look, there were no cameras. They don't have a clip of this, at least not yet. Maybe they'll show one at some point. Who knows? But I'd venture to say they might have shown it already if they had it. But if he's doing that, then he knows the cameras aren't there, so he's being who he really is. It's all about, I'm being my authentic self, but he is being nothing at all that can be considered authentic. Nothing. He's not who he is. He's not who he's truly showing in real life. Not at all. He's trying to put on a face, and then in, public, or, not in public, but when he's separate or in a different situation, he's really showing who he truly is because he's frustrated because he doesn't want to answer the questions because he doesn't want to be with you. That's the simple of it. That's it.
What made you feel like she was aggressive?
Say what? Oh, there he goes again. And look, they're playing ring around the rosy here because he never wants to really admit what his problem is, because guess what? He doesn't even really know how he can articulate it because it's stupid.
It just feels like, every time, not every time, it feels like there are times when, like, I'm just a piece of meat in the house.
What the hell did you just say out of your mouth right now? And, as it goes on, we can really pick apart what this really means, but he is trying to make it seem like she is jumping his bones all the time. He's like, no, get off of me, please, God. Like he's fighting off like a lion or something. Like this fool is got some perceptions that are just so messed up that he might be mentally ill. Like he might seriously have a problem. At the very least, he is so full of himself that he's just trying to go on the attack now because he knows that he is not looking good.
Us on honeymoon, I had my hand on his leg. He placed it in his nether region. He did, not me. I didn't put him there. I didn't put
So
my hand.
they're getting to the point of, when this started of, was it, who sent the signal? And she's making the point that on the honeymoon, he sent the first signal of, we can be a little closer, a little more intimate with our touching and stuff by putting her hand on his crotch. And now he wants to say, I feel like I'm just a piece of meat. What am I going to do? What the hell? And she's just like, at this point, she's trying to make sense of this in her head, and I think she can't really comprehend it because it's so not because she's not smart. She seems like very smart, but because it's so crazy that she can't really comprehend how this is happening. So in reality, she's like, there must be something. Maybe I took something to a different level or whole. But let me tell you, she's gonna be at a breaking point very soon, and she's not gonna deal with this no more.
Of like.
What?
She's running towards me. She's kissing me. She's grabbing me. I
okay.
can't get comfortable being around you without you like doing those things.
Not only does this fool not get his man card revoked because it's been gone, he's never had it. This is how bad this fool is. You just described your wife wanting to show some affection to you. Nothing crazy, just she's hugging me and she's kissing me. She's trying to show that she's happy you're there, that she's happy to see you. And you take that as, I can't even relax. What kind of non-man words I don't want to use right now are you, but just someone that's just trying to be on a show, and now you're trying to make it seem like you're the victim. But do you hear yourself, though? I mean, do you honestly hear what you're saying out of your mouth? Because you sound like a damn fool. A clown for sure.
I know he's a good person.
Nope.
Tell him why you know that.
Nope.
I know you're a good person.
Why?
And I believe in your heart of hearts that you do want to be married.
Maybe, but not to you. I don't believe he even wants to be married. And this is what I'm talking about, where it's so crazy that I don't think she can really wrap her mind around it right now. It'll come too as he continues to do this stuff, because it's not going to end. He has shown who he really is. The problem is you're accepting that that's not who he really is, that he was just frustrated. Instead, you should be accepting, oh, he showed me his hand. He has a full flush or a royal flush in his hand, and he showed it to me, and then you still continued to play knowing that you were going to lose. That's where you're at right now. And that's the sad part, is because she's a smart girl. She's a smart girl that should know better. That really, at this point, like, I've had a few issues with her, nothing crazy major. I wondered if she'd be able to adapt to the marriage because of how independent she was, but she has so far, and she's the one trying to make it work, and he's the clown that's not. So you know what? At this point, she needs to leave. That's what she needs to do.
And right now, I think the best way for us to move forward would just to be our true, authentic selves around each other.
What does that even mean? Break that down for me. Because anytime someone says, I can be my true, authentic self, why are you not being yourself before? Why are you faking? So are you faking now or are you faking then? Because when you say, be our true, authentic selves, I'm pretty sure you showed your true, authentic self when every time you raise your voice, every time you say you're attacking me, every time you say you're aggressive towards me, every time you say those questions, all of that, that's your true self. The self that is not yours coming on like, I'm just an artist with a poetry. I got some poems. I'm trying to be on TV. Oh, I don't mean I'm trying to be on TV, but I got some poems because I'm just artistic. That is your non-authentic self. That's your fake side. That's the facade you put on. Your real side is what you just showed. The problem is for some reason, Emem is giving you another chance. And unfortunately, it's not going to end well for her.
Is there any things that I can do to allow you to get to know me better?
Oh, okay. Good question.
For the most part, it's just to be in the moment.
Oh.
I just enjoy.
Oh, okay.
Like, nothingness sometimes.
He has nothing. He's got nothing. He has no answers. This proves over and over and over again when he says crap like this that he doesn't really want to be here. That he is here for not the right reasons, and he's trying to just make his time last longer. Because he literally she's like the David of this relationship. She is trying to see what she can do to make it work. She asks, what can I do to get to know you better? And his answer, just be in the moment. Just sometimes chill. Like, what are we, in high school? Just chill, man. Like, you're in a marriage. Make your marriage work. Stop being a punk. Stop being a clown. And either make it work or walk away. Because she don't deserve that, and yet she's still trying to make it work. You, sir, are something else. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's for sure. Now, Allen and Madison had their little dust up. You know, Allen got a little upset. Showed a little bit of clip of being a little mad last time. And you know what? I was told in the comments by allegedly Allen himself that we'd find out in the next episode, and we did. And you know what? I still maintain, as I've said, that he seems like one of the genuine guys on the show. I think David is, but I still have concerns about, what may be happening in the future. I think Thomas overall, but I still wonder about him. Juan, I don't really think is that genuine, and Ikechi is not that genuine. So I think overall he's probably the most genuine, and this kind of reinforces that.
Okay. I mean, we both have phones,
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I feel more of like the solo Madison. I haven't gotten a sense of an us yet.
And Allen went on to say that, you know what, I did it was a little vindictive of me. I was doing this. So he admitted he was wrong. Good for him for that. I think Madison, as of right now, is still struggling to really find that relationship part. And she mentions that. But you got to find it. You got to find the way together to really make it work, to be able to come together as a couple, to, find out your identity as a couple, to compromise. It's all about compromise. You don't have to give up your identity, but you do have to come together as one, which means sometimes adjusting a little bit. And that happens in a relationship. Nothing wrong with that. So this is a good start. She's talking about how she feels about it. He's saying, look, I was wrong, but this is how I feel because we went out to the club and, it kind of got a little distant. It was a little weird. And so mentions it. She has her piece and it seems like they come together good on that one. That's how a relationship should be. Don't know if they last. I don't think they do, unfortunately. But as far as communication and relationship, that is a good kind of viewing of what it should be.
And it's frustrating because I am trying and I do want this to work, but I am struggling.
And I don't think she's not trying. At this point, I think she is trying, but she is struggling more with the fact of trying to be or having been independent for so long and having to come together in a relationship. It's not always easy to do, but when you're in a marriage, you have to commit, and you have to commit to make it work. You have to commit every day. People think of, you hear this out there all the time. My person, I just got to find my person. You're not my person. They might be my person. The problem is you can claim someone's your person all day, but if you don't put in the work every single day to choose to love that person every single day, to choose to fight for them every single day, it is not going to work. A relationship is work. The honeymoon phase ends and then the work begins. And that's where these couples find themselves. So this is a good way to start, but I'm sure there's some bumps in the road.
Some good conversation. And
good.
I think, I was a little emo the other day.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
We're probably both a little grumpy.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about right there. Being able to admit you were wrong. And even she says, look, I could be a little grumpy too. That's the kind of stuff that you need in a relationship, because if one person is always admitting they're wrong, or if one person's always apologizing, or if no one is for certain, it's not going to work. So those are the kind of things you see as a promising relationship. Now, does it always work out? No, of course not. People can have a relationship that seems good, but it just doesn't work out. That happens as well. But these are aspects that really need to be present in a successful relationship.
They have a problem with how much I work or how often I see my friends.
She's talking about past relationships, by the way.
Or how often I see my family, or pretty much every other activity outside of them.
Okay.
So let me pause you there. So am I hearing, Madison, that you have a pattern of not being invested in your relationship?
Yes. And this is why Dr. Pia gets points, because Dr. Pia has made great points on this episode. So you know what? She's not, as of right now, she's not on my bad expert list. The other two, well, look, Dr. Pepper, don't get me started on Dr. Pepper. She doesn't even stay with her husband, and they stay in separate places. They have different houses. I'm sorry, but I digress. Can't get over Dr. Pepper. But anyways, Dr. Pia, on the other hand, seems to, at least on this episode, have a good head on her shoulders, and she's had some good things in the past. So, got to give credit where it's due. She points out the fact that maybe Madison has had some issues in the past with, putting things forward that shouldn't have been put forward, or not really prioritizing her relationship. And that's a good thing to point out, because if you want a relationship to work, whether it's with Allen or whether it's with someone else, you're going to have to prioritize your relationship in some way and not prioritize your friends. She makes a point to say, yeah, they'd have a problem with me going out with my friends. Well, if you go out with your friends like you going out on the show, like immediately, first night in the apartment, going out with friends, yeah, it's going to be a little problematic for your relationship. Not because you're hanging with friends, but because you're not prioritizing your relationship.
Look at your partner in the eyes and tell them how you feel about them.
It's a good one.
Madison, you are one of the most amazing women that I've genuinely met. And I genuinely hope that we get to where we both want to be.
Oh, Allen.
That's nice to say.
You know the compliments today. Look at
You know what? That's nice. Good for him. Good for him for doing that. Good for her for being receptive. You know, this was, at least right now or during this episode, this was a positive episode for Madison and Allen. So I like to see that. We do like to see that sometimes. It doesn't all need to be a magical disaster every episode, which, you know, it is a lot of the time. So good for them. I'm not super optimistic because as the way the show goes and all the things they've foreshadowed that it's going to end great, but as of right now, it's nice to see that. So good for them. I hope they keep it going.
It's a big deal for you, you know?
Big deal. She just points out again how affection's a big deal for her. And this awkward, take a sip, just gonna drink that right there. Look at her. Look at her. She's like, if you don't say something right now, then laser beams are gonna fly out of my eyes.
I'm listening, I'm hearing you. I just haven't gotten there yet. You know?
And
I hope
there
that you're not taking it personal. The kind of affection you're looking for, I'm working toward that.
Oh, she definitely taking it personal. Now, is it because she gave him a trash bag with his clothes in it on the honeymoon? Maybe. Either way, he's obviously not feeling it. We have several that aren't feeling it, and this is not going to end well because she is clearly bothered. She's brought it up numerous times that affection is one thing she likes to have. So, you know, cuddles and kisses. We need our cuddles. You know, it's kind of childlike the way she says it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, hugging up with your wife. Nothing wrong with hugging up with your girlfriend, whatever the case may be. But she definitely has been over the top with it. But at the same time, he's kind of been over the top with not being receptive to it. So they, again, the same issue we're running into with a lot of these couples is no compromise. Y'all can't have a marriage if you don't compromise. Sorry, but you can't.
Maybe if I keep getting to know her, I will eventually fall in love with the person that she is.
She's being very careful with what he says here.
But at the moment, you know, I'm just not, you know, and that physical attraction is not there for me.
Okay, what physical attraction, what does that look like to you? Because we're hearing that a lot. Now, if you're not attracted to someone, there is nothing wrong with that. I've said that. But if you think you're going to get there, you think you can, then say what you need. What kind of things can y'all do to build on that? But they're not really saying that. It's just, I'm not attracted to you. Maybe I'll get there. Maybe I'll build love on it, but I'm not attracted to you. So what's going to happen then? There is no solution. None.
So we have to, as a unit, make plans.
Yes.
And, first of all, start thinking about each other as a unit. We are a unit.
Yes.
This isn't just Juan and Carla. This is
100%. Dr. Pia with the win again. She gets points all day, Dr. Pia. You know what? Get rid of the other experts. I'm fine with Dr. Pia. She has redeemed herself from whatever negative stuff I've seen in the past. Dr. Pia is coming with all the sense on this episode. She's talking about you have to come together with one unit. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that through all of these different shows, that is one thing I've harped on nonstop. If y'all cannot come together, if y'all cannot have that compromise, come together as one, because you are making a family together. So, and I don't mean kids necessarily, I mean coming together as your own family. And with that comes figuring things out as a unit. As she said, it's perfectly said, good job. But can they do it? No, probably not, because they don't really want to be in it. Maybe Karla wants it a little more, but quite frankly, I think she's just in love with the idea of being in love, and Juan's not even ready for it, so how's that going to work? But the concepts are true, and that is what needs to happen for any of these couples to work. But not really optimistic, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll see one last. To be determined. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to show support for the channel, you can drop a super thanks. Again, I really appreciate it, and I will see y'all next time.